All set. Awesome. Well, happy Friday, guys. Welcome to the March 19th edition of the Rally Community Call. What a week it has been. We're really excited to have you guys here. So, really exciting week. We have a really jam-packed meeting for you guys. So, really excited for you guys to join. Our agenda today is looking like new meeting cadence. So I'll go over a slide after this about the new meeting update, where we're going to be at and how often this meeting is going to be occurring each month. We're going to send it over to new creators to Mahesh, KPIs over to Mike, product updates over to Mike as well. We have a CoinList update, as many of you guys are probably here for, with Era. And then we have Brenner giving an awesome presentation on the marketing budget proposal that's up on Snapshot. A conversation with Matty Mo. So we have a great guest speaker today. Really excited to have the most famous artist. Has been getting a ton of notoriety with this coin. A ton of creators have been referencing him. You see him all over Clubhouse, so we finally got him here today. And then we ultimately can round it up with an audience Q&A, which is great because I'm sure many of you guys may have questions. Before we get started, as a reminder, and this is no shock to anyone, please keep your guys' selves on mute. Please type any questions that you may have in chat. And we'll hold those questions for Matty Mo and any of the speakers today, as well as an audience Q&A. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll go over the new meeting cadence. So this community call will now move to 2 times a month. Before, previously it was weekly, so now we made it to 2 times a month, and we'll be sending out those notifications when those 2 meetings a month will occur. The goal of that, and really what our purpose is behind that, is to just pack this agenda with as many relevant updates and presentations, information as possible. And then the Rally Digest, which is our newsletter, which you can sign up for our blog, will continue to publish weekly, and that'll fill any community gaps or any gaps really in the community in terms of communication. So anything that we don't cover in the call weekly will be put in that newsletter, which if you guys have not signed up for, it's a great newsletter to kind of keep you guys up to speed. And ultimately, if you guys have any ideas for guests, helpful tutorials, or anything presentation-wise, hit up Kurt, right? You can hit him up at kpatat@rally.io, and we also have his Discord in the Rally Discord. So any ideas, please reach out to Kurt. With that being said, if you guys have any questions, please post in chat, reach out to Kurt. If there's nothing there, we'll go ahead and throw it over to Mahesh for the new creators.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Before we hop into this, I'm not sure if Mike or Amit, if you guys want to have a couple comments on the website status. I guess we have to manually unmute people now, which is good. Security measure.
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about it. So yeah, unfortunately this morning we had a bit of a maintenance window. We caught an error in one of our sources where we pulled the exchange rate to fetch market rally price. And so we had to turn the site off while we fixed that. The site should be back online as of now though.
Okay. All right, new creators. So first up is Christina Holder. She launched the Woman Coin. She's the founder of Women in Business, which is the largest women's club on Clubhouse. She actually hosted a White House event in there. And so just a phenomenal creator, super forward thinking, excited to be working with her. Some of her use cases, by the way, Grant, I'm not sure if you can refresh the slide or not, but some of her use cases include renting out her club for others who can pay in coin, as well as paying out coin bounties effectively if those folks drive a certain audience size within her club. She's also looking at donation drives and other things like that. So we can go to the next slide. No worries about refreshing it. So Botcoin, this is a really interesting kind of developer coin, and so this is a community coin meant to be used between different bot developers within the Botcoin AI ecosystem. They're exploring subscriptions, sponsorships, different developer bounties, and other things like that. Going. So Good Coin, this is Ed Nussbaum's renamed coin called Good Coin, and this is meant to be used as a very expansive coin within Clubhouse that spans many of his clubs, Startup Club, Community Club, OG Club, and Talk Club. Some of these are the biggest clubs in Clubhouse, and so TBD on use cases, but I'll probably follow a lot of the standard Clubhouse use cases right now, which is tipping people, paying for private sessions within private rooms within Clubhouse, paying coin to ask a question, those types of things. And last but not least, we have Francine Hardaway with the Karma coin, another Clubhouse influencer. She's a beloved and wise person in Clubhouse. She just turned 80, I think, this past month. And so the use cases she's looking for are pay it forward types of use cases where coins are distributed and sort of redistributed to other folks within the community in a cascading way, as well as running programs around coaching and mentoring with other folks who are in her network, who want to offer these types of services, but just denominating it all in Karma coin. So that covers new creators.
Awesome. Thank you, Mahesh. We'll go ahead and send it over to Mike for the KPIs.
All right. So obviously, as probably most people on the call have realized, this has been a fairly exciting week for Rally this past week with CoinList and several exchanges listing the Rally token. You can see there has been a fairly dramatic increase in the price of Rally on the market, has resulted in some of these numbers here being some of the largest we've ever seen. So in terms of the mainnet side, between the liquidity pools on Balancer and Uniswap, this has gone up almost 3x, corresponding to the price of Rally going up around 3x to about $65 million in total liquidity across those pools. Community treasuries holding at 1.6 million. We had a pretty large increase in the bridge-ins, about 103K. But again, a lot of this is just due to the price of Rally itself going up significantly. Moving over to the side chain, about 7.8 million Rally is currently backing creator coins. Quite a large amount of volume. Again, like I said, these numbers are all high because the market price of Rally is higher. So $262,000 in average daily volume this past week. With the CoinList announcement, we've had some increase in interest in Rally. So we've got about 4,800 people now holding coins, significant amounts of buys and converts in, and also not necessarily surprising, significant amount of bridge outs for people who want to take advantage of that price and are potentially swapping it around on Uniswap. So that's it for this week in terms of KPIs. Oh yeah, it's me again. So I also wanted to give a few updates about some of the features we're introducing on Rally IO over the past few weeks. So as you guys know, one of our big focuses is enabling more usage and utility for creator coins. Our campaign system is a feature that enables some basic e-commerce use cases in a simple manner. So with campaigns, a Rally creator can set up a limited quantity fixed price item for sale. And I use the word item here pretty loosely, as the item could actually be anything. It could be a physical good, it could be a virtual good, it could be an experience, it could be a shout out on stream, or etc. And when that campaign is created, it will create a specific link that the creator can then paste wherever they want, on their site or on their social media, etc. Users who click this link will go directly to the send coin page in Rally.io to enact a transfer for that amount of creator coin. And at that point, fulfillment is up to the creator. So a pretty neat way to do some simple e-commerce kind of use cases for our creators. We've also, moving on to the next one for the Discord bot, we've also added a feature to our Discord bot to enable transferring of creator coins via the bot. So a lot of our creators use Discord as a gathering place for their community. We've had a Discord bot out there for a while now, but up until now, the bot primarily was used as a way to award Discord roles to users based on the amount of creator coin they're holding. And that's a great way to recognize users for their passive support of their creator. We then introduced the ability to grant roles based on the amount of creator coin those users have donated or sent to the creator. But to do the actual sending of the coin, the user would have to leave Discord and go to the Rally.io website. So now with this tipping feature enabled in the bot itself, this can happen right inside Discord, and the users don't have to make context. Tipping also works to send coins to other users too, not only to the creator. And so we think that can also open up a number of interesting use cases. Moving on to the creator tools part. So together with a number of our community developer members, we're also working on a number of tools that our creators can use with their creator coins. So some quick examples are here shown on the screen. So some things like adding a simple price ticker to the Twitch stream or creating a donation goal, a widget. Those are the two down below. And another one that's in the works is the ability to play an audio snippet when creator coin is received or purchased, which we think will be pretty interesting to a number of our creators who are active on Clubhouse and other social audio applications. And we're also working on a site to start showcasing some of these tools so that they can be more easily found by our creators. So as I mentioned before, this past week has been pretty exciting for the Rally project. So along with that, it's getting more well-known around the world, a lot of new eyes coming in to look at the Rally site. So we're going to start making a number of content updates to our website to better explain what Rally is all about, who it's for, and how it works. We've started with a new homepage that you guys have probably seen and some simple reorganization of our headers and footers, and you'll start seeing some more small changes appear over the coming weeks. So just wanted to highlight that as well. And lastly, we're excited to finally announce that OAuth transfers is finally live. And this is still really just the tip of the spear for our developer platform and API. But this is one of the key abilities that we hope will really enable the beginning of some third-party developers to start building out applications and tools that will utilize creator coins outside of the Rally.io website. So some examples of this could be direct integration into an e-commerce site to be able to buy goods with creator coins, or a creator making their own application to automatically send coins to users as a reward for taking certain actions. But the whole point here is that, who knows what interesting use cases for creator coins exist out there. Certainly we can't think of all of them. And so with this API, and as we flesh out our developer platform more, we hope we can enable creators and the public in general to dramatically expand the use cases that creator coins can do. I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. That's all very exciting. Can't wait to roll that all out. We'll send this over to Ira for the CoinList update.
Thanks, Grant. Hey, guys. So as Mike mentioned, there's been quite a bit of exciting attention given to Rally because of the announcement of CoinList. And again, the sale on CoinList is not yet active, but certainly they have a huge client base. It's funny, a couple of friends of mine, one in the Grand Caymans and one in Europe, reached out because they're like, hey, isn't this your project? This is really exciting. So I wanted to take a little bit of time right now to open this up for questions at the end as well, but also to point to Discord. There is a dedicated channel for CoinList questions that was put together because a lot of folks are really just coming to Rally for the first time because they've seen this. And so we want to make sure that everyone here is also aware of that. Feel free to just check out Discord and go in that channel if you have any questions, and also just to go, there's a lot of links there, but also just go straight to the CoinList site because this is a distribution that's being managed completely by CoinList and not at all by the Rally team. So real quick, what is CoinList? It's a technology platform. They have this mission and they generally work with pre-launch tokens, but they're really excited about the Rally project because of how we're really trying to democratize access to the tokens, and they wanted to assist. They have a big client base, a lot of folks outside the US that are really crypto savvy, and they felt like it'd be a good fit to introduce their clientele to the Rally platform. So the purpose for our purposes, and you guys have probably seen this on the snapshot and on the discourse, but we really want to just distribute Rally out to additional folks outside the US. There's a broad distribution again with international communities. So folks in the US and Canada and China and other prohibited areas are not actually allowed to participate in this distribution. And so there's also, the side note you guys saw probably on Discourse, and if not, take a look. We are wrapping up the community phase, and the point here is, certainly to raise more funds for the community treasury, but also just really distribution is a key element of why why Rally has decided to work with CoinList and why this will help the community further. So next slide, couple of sort of the high level terms of this sale. Again, this is run completely by CoinList. They're going to run the distribution from April 1st to 3rd, and the restrictions are being put on the Rally tokens that will be distributed through this. There's a 6-month lockup, so none of the Rally that's being distributed here will be seen in the market until early as October. And then after that, there's the releases over the following 6 months. This is key. There's a maximum $1,000 USD equivalent purchase per party, because the intent there is, again, to really spread out the distribution and not just going to let one party swoop up a bunch of Rally. This is really going to be to democratize the access to the tokens. And the price is going to be something that's actually not announced. There's going to, if you guys do check out Discord, a lot of questions come up over and over, like, what's the price? What's the price? CoinList is actually determining that, and they'll announce the price 24 hours prior to the sale launch based on some methodology that they put together. It's ultimately up to their discretion. They like to put the price together and just set up parameters so that folks understand what the methodology is. But based on market conditions, they try to set the right price for their clients. So anyway, that's really it. Just a quick overview. Again, check out Discord. You can also check out Discourse for a little bit more detail, and go to the CoinList site if you have any information that you need. We at the team were happy to try to answer questions, but ultimately this is actually a community approved distribution through CoinList. And so no one in the team is benefiting. No one in the team is getting any of the funds. Certainly it's all flowing to the community treasury, but we're certainly here to answer questions to the extent that we can.
Thank you, Ira, for that information and providing clarity. We appreciate that. Well, now it's time to bring on the most famous artist on Clubhouse, someone that's getting brought up by Jake Paul, a prominent coin on our platform. Really excited to have Matty Mo on. We're going over I'm sorry, my apologies. We're going over to Brimner first. How can I forget about Brimner? My apologies. Matty, we'll get you in just a second. Brimner's got an awesome update on the marketing side. Take it away, Brimner.
I was really humbled to be called the most famous artist. So thanks for that. No, I'm not an artist. I've been engaged to help oversee all of the go-to-market efforts for Rally with the community. So for those that I haven't had a chance to meet yet, I've been working with the community and with the Rally team over the past 5 weeks to really think through our go-to-market strategy for the rest of 2021. So I'm excited to share a lot of this information and dive into our thoughts around go-to-market over the next 6 to 9 months, and also highlight that a lot of this information is shared in greater detail in Discourse. So if folks want to ask any follow-up questions or have any additional thoughts that may require more attention, feel free to add any of your thoughts in on the Discourse post. But I just wanted to highlight that we've had a lot of success to date in terms of our go-to-market. Since the beginning of this year, we've had 55 creator launches, including a lot of really influential names. And you can see some of those here, but that obviously that list is not comprehensive. We've had a lot of really great creators launch over the course of this year. We've processed about $6 million in US dollars of sidechain volume since January 1st, which shows that this is starting to gain momentum and that there's a lot of economic activity occurring on Rally. And we've also taken a dominant leadership position in the media. We've garnered 166 unique media placements since the beginning of this year. And the total readership of those placements has resulted in almost 773 million people potentially having seen some of these publications and these placements. And you can see that some of the areas that we've been featured, New York Times, Adweek, Vogue Business, CoinDesk, we're getting featured in a lot of the best media publications that educate creators, fans, and crypto audiences. And as you've seen through the great work and stewardship of Jeremiah and Mahesh, we've had a consistent drumbeat of events on Clubhouse where we're educating both creators and fans about the opportunity that exists on Rally. Kurt, you can go to the next slide. And just to round out some other highlights, we have a number of speaking opportunities that you may have seen across podcasts and industry-specific panels, and then a number of bylines in major media publications. We've also seen the Discord community grow significantly, and we've been investing in community governance and strong community management through our team and also through the community. And then finally, we've established multiple lines of communication with the blog, the wiki, the newsletter, and our YouTube channel. So that's all to highlight that there's been a lot of really great progress to date. But if you go to the next slide, this is just the beginning. So we'll move on to the next slide. And the time is now. Our brand proposition resonates with creators and fans. Every single conversation that I've been having with somebody within the industry, they are all looking for a trusted, independent, and decentralized monetization capability. They just haven't heard about Rally yet. The interest in crypto for creators and artists has never been higher. I think every single moment of every single day, you're hearing about NFTs for artists. How do they adopt crypto? How do they incorporate this into the way they engage their fans? So it is such a ripe time for us to have an opportunity to speak more broadly about Rally. We've spent the past 3 years building the technology and infrastructure to be able to create real meaningful economies for creators. And it's already working, as I highlighted earlier. And we have a lot of interesting use cases already happening on the network, and we're just scratching the surface. With our APIs coming out, as Mike mentioned, we'll be able to identify and create a number of additional use cases that really work for creators and their fans. And then finally, we are building a team to engage with artists and creators across a number of different industry segments. And we really need to provide air cover for those conversations so that the folks that are talking to creators directly are not introducing Rally for the first time. They're following up on something where the artist or the creator may have heard about Rally elsewhere through our marketing efforts. And as Ira just mentioned, we're in a really great position. We're well capitalized, and as a community are ready to invest in initiatives that will drive up the adoption of Rally. So if you go to the next slide. Just to level set, I know that a lot of my narrative and a lot of the work that I've done is really around creator go-to-market, but I want to be clear that there are 3 separate audiences that we really need to target: creators, consumers, and crypto enthusiasts. And so all of our marketing initiatives are going to be at least layered up to one of each of these audiences, if not touching every single one of these audiences. So if we go to the next slide. And just to be clear, we're focused right now on 8 target categories: music, video, podcast, gaming, fine art, entertainment, social audio, and sports. And there was a great question in the discourse forum post about, hey, we really need to focus, and yet you turn around and you say, hey, here are 8 categories that we're going after. I just want to be clear that yes, that's a lot of categories to be targeting, but our marketing message can really speak to the entire creator industry at large. And then we really need to focus on specific use cases within each of those categories. And the reason for that number of categories is we are just in a really unique market moment where every single one of those creator categories is looking for how to adopt crypto within their industry segment. So we'll move on to the next slide. So there are a lot of different areas of opportunity, and I've highlighted these in the discourse post. So I want to make sure that I'm not spending too much time diving into this, but at a really high level, we need to establish our brand narrative and adapt our brand message so that we can then really have a solid foundation to speak to the market, to creators, fans, and crypto enthusiasts about who we are and what we stand for. Part of that is identifying the target creator profile. So the creators that we want to target and engage with, what do they look like from a demographic standpoint and from a psychographic standpoint, so we can figure out how best to land our marketing message and where to target our creator partnerships efforts. We need to build a proactive creator outreach strategy. To date, we've had a lot of great inbound opportunity and then some proactive outreach. But now it's time for us to really identify, here are the target heat maps of creators that we want to go out to, and this is how we're going to do it across marketing and creator partnerships. And then finally, we wanted to develop an inbound funnel so that we don't only have to be servicing creators through direct hand-to-hand nurturing of them throughout the launch process, but also allowing creators to sign up and launch on their own. So we'll move on to the next slide. Additionally, and this was highlighted in the Discord recently, we need to produce content that educates and inspires creators so that we're giving them all the information they need in order to educate their audiences and make it really easy for creators to be able to speak about Rally and about crypto. I believe there may be a repeated slide here about the self-service funnel, or a repeated bullet point. And then initiating product and network marketing. We're releasing a lot of really interesting stuff. And it's important for us to package that up and give it to creators in a way that is really easy for them to understand and easy for them to implement. So we'll move on to the next slide. Additionally, we really want to invest in owned events, similar to what we're doing at Clubhouse, but in a variety of other industry sectors and on a variety of other platforms. And then when the world starts going back to in real life events, we might want to invest in our own in real life events. Participating in industry events like VidCon and others, where creators, fans, and crypto enthusiasts currently attend. Investing in talent partnerships and ambassadorships so that we can open up doors and work with gatekeepers right now who can open up doors to creators within different segments. And then finally, scaling up our community engagement and education. Next slide, please. 3 more things. Investing in creator success. We have a great creators on the platform more who will be joining in the near future. And so making sure that they have the resources and handholding and coaching from folks within the community and on the team to grow their creator economies will be critical in the ongoing success and adoption of Rally's network. Continuing to expand our investment in PR and media. Kurt and the Waxman team have done a fantastic job, and we need to add fuel to the fire to continue to drive this awareness. And then finally, in the second half of the year, we're going to need to start thinking about launching internationally and recruiting international creators and their audiences. So you can see that there's a lot of work that needs to get done from a go-to-market standpoint. And I'm excited to be working to engage both internal resources, community resources, and agencies to get this work done. And also holding every single person that's working on go-to-market to a really high bar. And so you can see that I'm going to be ensuring, as the community ambassador for all of these initiatives, that there are clear KPIs and a supposed ROI for each of these activities, and we'll be measuring those on an ongoing basis, and I'll touch on that in a second. You can go on to the next slide. So a note about KPIs. Each of those above initiatives will be measured on the following criteria: awareness, creator acquisition, and creator success. So we're really trying to drive the reach, there's a typo there, the reach and awareness of Rally within the creator communities, the number and scale of creator launches, and the growth of each of the creator economies once they do launch on the Rally network. And right now, specific KPIs haven't been formalized for every single one of these initiatives because we're still in the build phase. But as we launch any of these initiatives, we will have specific and clear KPIs that will be set for each campaign and that folks will know how we're measuring our own success. So we'll move on to the next slide. So the total budget request for the rest of 2021 is $9 million in USD that can be paid for in a combination of USD or tokens. And it's going to be spread across building our brand marketing foundation, driving marketing campaigns, performing content marketing. And then if you move on to the next slide, event marketing, talent and agency ambassador partnerships, PR and media relations, tools and infrastructure like a CRM, marketing automation software, a website platform, developing that self-service funnel. And then there's also a little bit of flex in the budget for any marketing activities that might be identified throughout the course of the year. We don't really know what we will encounter in the next 6 to 9 months, where there might be things we really want to invest in, and we want to make sure that we have a little bit of flex for those types of marketing activities. So again, $9 million across each of these activities over the course of 2021. And just to level set, for a company at our, or not a company, for a network at our stage that has the opportunity that we have and is well capitalized in the position that we're in, you would typically spend between 30 to 50% of your overall budget against marketing and sales. And you would also really see how much of a market opportunity could you capture from those investments. So we're looking at this both from what would a similar network, project, or company at this moment in time invest in sales and marketing, and then also what is the anticipated ROI. And we've seen that many organizations that I consult with and other companies that I've worked with in the past would typically spend between $10 to $15 million on marketing at this point in time. And so this is a relatively large budget, but is definitely within the realm of a normal course of spend for a project at this point in time. So we'll move on to the next slide. And to talk a little bit about tracking our success, it's really important that we have community governance for all of these programs, while also giving enough of a time scale to really run these programs and see the benefit of these investments. I'm proposing that over the course of the rest of the year, we will have a quarterly meeting that the next one will be on June 30th, 2021, where we will have a quarterly report that will look at all the areas of spend and then the ROI of those programs and the KPIs achieved. And then we will have a call where we can actually go through that and review the feedback from the community, any shifts in strategy that we may want to invest in, and really understand the spend and the ROI. This would be typical to, a board call or something to that effect, where we're bringing folks in to evaluate and identify opportunities for shifts in the strategy, and then also really dig into the spend. We also, where possible, are going to open up the opportunity for there to be a 30-day notice to terminate any of the vendor contracts or specific areas of spend if the community sees that they're not driving the appropriate KPIs or ROI. And as part of my role, I will be working as the community's agent for these purposes, signing and vetting and identifying and signing the contracts with these vendors, and making sure that I'm holding the community engaged in each of these initiatives, and making sure that I'm representing the community effectively. So I believe that's it for the overview on the budget, but a lot shared here, and thanks for giving me the time.
Awesome, Bremner. Thank you for that. And if there's any questions about this budget proposal for Bremner, please post in the chat. Bremner will address those questions at the end of the call. Awesome. Well, let's send it over to Matty. This is your time now. I don't know if I can do a justice of the intro I did originally, but we'll send it over to Matty, someone that's been on our platform now quite some time, a great Clubhouse creator, and we're really excited to be talking with him today.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'd like to first thank Jeremiah for introducing me to the platform, and to Mahesh for being a great steward as I got onboarded into the platform, and Alex Phelps, who's on the call, for helping me with my Discord strategy. I think that what makes this platform so special is the community that you guys have created and the support that I've been feeling as a creator. So I just wanted to start by expressing some gratitude. I guess at a high level, I'm an artist, formerly a tech entrepreneur. For the last 8 years, I've been creating a persona called the Most Famous Artist. If you Google the Most Famous Artist, you find me next to Picasso and Warhol, largely because I created headline-worthy projects as the main kind of work product of my art practice. So you might have seen some of our projects from my studio, like changing the Hollywood sign to say Hollyweed in the beginning of 2018, distributing a bunch of monoliths around the world at the end of last year, teaching famous dogs how to paint portraits of themselves and going viral on BuzzFeed, turning a whole block of houses in Los Angeles millennial pink when millennial pink was the color of the year, turning it into a selfie trap. Through all of these projects, I've assembled quite a community, and it was kind of this informal ragtag crew of artists. And in the last year, as a result of the pandemic, I formalized the community into a platform wherein we could share resources and facilitate workshops and participate in projects in a more structured environment. And with the introduction of ArtCoin to the community, we now have this whole economic system that's kind of supercharged our community. So looking forward, we've got two main touch points. We've got a touch point that is our Discord server, which is locked based on someone buying Rally or earning Rally to access our Discord server, and that's public facing. Then we have this really robust and kind of rigorous onboarding process to allow members into our private community, where we allow members to facilitate workshops, participate in office hours with industry leaders, apply to participate in projects, and the list goes on. At the moment, the way we're using our token is one, to allow public folks to access our Discord, both artists, collectors, and enthusiasts. There's different sections. So there's an artist section where an artist can actually start to participate in dialogues around mediums, around techniques, around just general art related themes. We also have a collectors section, which is 5 times as many Rally to enter. And in that space, we intend to host studio visits and first looks and a secondary market for our supporters and collectors. We also have a governance section. Right now, the organization is relatively centralized, with me sitting with the majority of my Genesis tokens and a whole bunch of members having some tokens. But the ambition is to build governance wherein I can decentralize the organization, move out of the seat of kind of like the decision maker, and start to allow members that hold certain amounts of tokens at various times to start voting on how we allocate the resources that we earn through rewards. So the idea is that community members can start to apply to earn resources from the community to facilitate community related projects, be that painting a mural in New York or facilitating a gallery show in Miami Beach, whatever it may be. Members will be able to formally apply. Our governance structure will then be able to vote on how many tokens to distribute and whether or not we want to distribute these tokens. My ambition is truly to take over the art world. I could see a world wherein we host our own art fair at Art Basel this year and use resources out of the community treasury to rent a space and perhaps get brand sponsors and perhaps even have Rally sponsor our art show and allow collectors who hold a certain amount of token to then come in and access our art fair and get a first look at the artworks, perhaps even transact in ArtCoin in order to be able to purchase artworks, especially from our community. One project we did recently, which is a good kind of representation of where we're planning on heading, is we had 50 community members participate in a portrait series of NFTs. So we created portraits of the artist Beeple, who we know was about to go through a major press junket as a result of his Christie's auction that sold for a record $69 million. We created portraits that became a collection of 50 different Beeples. We then listed them on OpenSea and kind of gamified the buying experience. And we were able to sell 470 Ethereum in the last month of NFTs. What ends up happening is a portion of those proceeds go back to artists in the community. A portion of those proceeds are allocated to the treasury, and a portion of those proceeds go into the operating budget of the company that I run. And what's cool about that is as we continue to do these projects, I'm using my token to stake bounties for members to participate. So they're not creating work for free, but they're actually being compensated for submitting to projects. And then once selected, allowing members to participate in the upside of the sale of these different projects, but then also have funds from the projects flow back into the community. Some cool things have emerged where we've got capital partners who are willing to come in and buy tokens from us in order to facilitate more of these types of projects. And we're looking at starting like our own like Pixar for NFT studio. My goal, so right now we're at between 300 and 500 active artists. And I say that because we're going through a new onboarding process right now. My goal is to help 10,000 artists make more than $100,000 a year, independent of the gallery, museum, and art institution ecosystem. If we do that, then we've created $1 billion economic impact. And I view Art Token as one of the fundamental drivers of that vision. So that's all I got for you. I don't know if you have any questions, but it's really exciting what's going on, and I couldn't be more happy to be a part of this project.
That's exciting, Matty. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks,
that.
Matty. I was planning on asking you some questions and drawing some of that information out of you. So you did my job for me. I think it's a great explanation, and we appreciate having you. And I think it's just a great case study of if anyone's like asking the question, what does an economy look like? Or this is just a shining example of like what a true coin economy can look like if you stretch it to its max potential. So really excited about all of this, and I'm sure you've got plenty of other plans in the future. And so I'd love to continue to hear from you and learn from you.
Yeah, I will note we have a gigantic community of artists, all very talented, multidisciplinary. So if any design or art related needs exist within the community, feel free to reach out via our Discord server. If you don't have ArtCoin and need some, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to gift you some. I want to essentially become like a creative resource for the entire community through the TMFA community.
Cool. Thank you. Sounds great, Matty. All right. I think that wraps things up.
Okay. Is there any questions from the audience? I know we have one from Justin. Matty, Justin wants to know, do you have any kids in the community under 12?
No, we've designated that you have to be over 13 and have parental approval to be in the community. There's some activities like live nude still life or live nude painting workshops and some 18-plus-year-old activities. So the community is largely positioned to be 18 plus at the moment, but we could see a world wherein we spin out a middle school, high school part of the community, but that's probably further down the roadmap.
Awesome. Any questions? Oh, here we go. Christian's got a question. What is the current backlog on creative client applications? Christian, that will be discussed in Discord. I can also kind of give you an update. If you Discord me on my private, I can go and reach out to you on Discord and I can answer that privately. We're still getting through those pretty swiftly here. Any other questions from the community for Brimner, any of the speakers today? Matty? If not, we can go ahead and wrap this up. Awesome. Well, I think that wraps it up. That concludes our March 19th edition of the Rally Community Call. Again, this meeting now will go back to 2 times a month. So stay tuned for the next update and invitation sent out by Kurt. Thank you guys for joining. Matty, ultimately, thank you again for joining us. Looking forward to the weekend, and everyone enjoy your guys' the rest of your weekend. Thank you guys.